Welcome back. We'll get you back to the water cube in just a moment. First, as we reported Saturday, Todd Bachman of Lakeville, Minnesota, the father-in-law of U.S. indoor volleyball coach Hugh McCutcheon, was fatally stabbed in an apparently random act of violence here in Beijing on Saturday. Also injured, Mr. Bachman's wife, Barbara, now in critical but stable condition at a Beijing hospital. McCutcheon was unable to be with the U.S. men in their opener against Venezuela Sunday. Here's a look at how that match played out.
Well, a very difficult situation has become impossible. With the attack to the in-laws of Coach Hugh McCutcheon, he will not be here today. His future with the team still very much in doubt. The United States leading 2-0. Venezuela storming back.
Oh boy, great job by the Americans.
All that the United States needed.
Unloads and that'll do it.
At the end of an impossible 24 hours, the United States win it in 5 sets.
Then after the victory, Lindsay Soto spoke with United States setter Lloy about Coach McCutcheon.
I know that you all have had a chance to communicate with him via conference call. What was the message that you wanted him to hear from the team, and what kind of message did he have for you?
Well, obviously, it was a really emotional phone call. You know, Hugh was a little broken up, and obviously so. You know, he was at the hospital with his wife and her parents. And I think he just wanted us to know that even though he wouldn't be here today, that he was supporting us, he was thinking about us, and that we should not, you know, toil on this obviously terrible event, but do what we came to do here, and that's play great volleyball and represent our country and try to win a gold medal. And that's the message he's given us the whole quad. I mean, he's been an amazing leader, amazing friend, and personally, you know, one of the best coaches I ever played for. And it almost makes it harder. You know, your heart goes out even further to a person that you're so close to. But it also makes you really want to give a total effort every time you step on the court in honor of your country and in honor of him.
And just to put those comments in context, Lloy is playing in his 4th Olympics here. Now, amid this surreal situation, the next test for the U.S. men's volleyball team, 2004 Olympic silver medalist Italy on Tuesday.
I just felt like after winning the World League a month prior to the Olympic Games that we were the best team rolling into the Olympics. Even with the unfortunate tragedy of our coach's, you know, father-in-law, we hung together and we went on one of the best runs ever seen, 8-0. You know, beating some of the best teams in the world: Italy, Bulgaria, Serbia, Russia, and then Brazil. I mean, those are the 5 top teams in the world, and we beat them all. And I just think it's a testament to sticking with it and to a cohesive unit. And it was just by far one of the best experience and by far the best team I've ever played with.
What a moment for the Americans. Volleyball hung in there. 4 Olympics, the ultimate reward.
The magnitude of it and what an awesome thing that was when we're standing on the podium, the national anthem's playing, and I can see, you know, the 6 members of my family that are there.
To put into words what that felt like is impossible. I always made fun of athletes when I saw them on ESPN or in interviews, and after winning a huge event and a huge moment in their lives, of course, some reporter would ask, "How do you feel? Put in words how you're feeling." And of course, they would always have the stereotypical response, I can't find the words, or I don't know what to say. And sitting at home in my armchair, as I'm sure you all did, you thought, that's just silly. How can you have nothing to say? I mean, how can you not put it in words? Well, I can tell you now from experience, there are no words. There's overriding emotion, joy, there's contentment, there's resolve, there's sadness, in my case, knowing that it was the last time I'd wear the red, white, and blue. There's just a feeling of overwhelming satisfaction that I hope and pray each and every one of you get to feel at some point in your life if you haven't already.
I always base it against like what happened in 2012. You know, I watched the team this year, and even though they had some veteran players, as a group, they hadn't been together that long. And when you get in big moments, even if maybe I'm confident in my skills, if the team isn't confident, then you're going to struggle. And in 08, you know, even down, 2-0 or down 1-0 or down, in the 5th set in the quarterfinal where you lose or go home to Serbia, a great team, we were down 7-3. In prior Olympics, we may have crumbled, but because of the collective experience and the collective confidence in each other, you just keep scratching and crawling and you grind it out and you end up getting through it somehow. And that's what we did the whole tournament. There was never a moment, and people say, well, it's easy to say this now, but it's true. During that entire tournament, there was never a moment where I was worried or thinking about what if we lose. And that had happened in some other Olympics, but I was so confident in the guys on the court and so confident about what I could do that I never felt like we were going to lose. And I think that resonated throughout the team. And I think the calming factor of Hugh McCutcheon, our coach, I think the fact that people knew this was the last opportunity for some of us, and we just put it all on the line each game. And I don't know, I've never seen a group of guys play that kind of volleyball for 2 weeks. I know other teams have won gold medals, USA teams and Brazil teams, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a team who played as well as we did in Beijing.
I think the biggest match as far as nerves concerned was the Serbia match. Losing in the quarterfinal, you're done. There's no way to come back. There's no way to play for a medal. I think that's the most pressure match. Once you get past that match, it's not all gravy, but you have a legitimate chance of winning a gold medal. And we felt real good against Russia, even though we hadn't played against them. And then getting to the final, we were the only team in the last 2 years who's had Brazil's number. We beat them 4 times in the last year and a half. So I think they were more worried, and I thought you saw that in the way they played in their eyes than we were.
We don't have athletes like Brazil or Russia. Our great athletes play other sports, Not that I'm not a good athlete, we didn't have good, but, our starting outside hitters are 6'2" and 6'3". Russia's is 6'8", 6'9". Our starting middles in 08 were 6'6" and 6'7". Russia's are 7'2" and 6'11". And so if we don't play our best volleyball, if we don't outwork the other team, we don't have a chance to win. Where other teams with more athleticism always feel like, well, we can kind of turn it on wherever we want. But we decided, once we got together, we're just going to turn it on and leave it on because we can't turn it off. We're not that kind of team. And I think we just surprised people how a guy like Riley Salmon from Texas, 6'2", line chopper, tip and roll, and it drives people nuts because you got a guy on their side, 6'11", who can't get a kill. But there's Riley over there just getting his work done. And I just think, that all-out American effort, and that's why we're known, and that's why people love to sign contracts with us over the world, is because we're going to fight until the whistle blows. We're going to give it 100% until it's all said and done. And that's why we won.
And that one is down. The United States siding out very well.
We beat those guys.
A local Olympian is welcomed home.
The gold medalist volleyball player Lloy flew into Fort Wayne earlier this afternoon, and News Channel 15's Janice Allen was there for the homecoming. She's live at the airport with more now. Janice?
Well, Mark and Heather, it was definitely a welcome fit for a hometown hero. Take a look at some of the video our photographer Ben Short captured here inside. Lloy arrived just before 4 o'clock, proudly wearing his new medal around his neck. Dozens crowded the gate, cheering with signs, balloons, and of course, lots of red, white, and blue. Beijing was Ball's 4th time competing in the Olympics, but it's his first time bringing home a medal, let alone a gold medal. Ball helped lead the U.S. men's volleyball team to victory over the defending Olympic champion team of Brazil.
It's been 20 years since our team's been able to do something like that. And then to walk home into this environment with all these family and friends and to be able to share this with them is something I've dreamed of for a very long time.
Well, it's just an exciting moment for our family and for our community and for the university, but especially for Lloy. He's worked extremely hard for the last 12 years to accomplish this goal.
I was so proud, and it's hard to say. The words just aren't there, but it was amazing to be able to be there and to watch that happen.
And Ball says the win's even more special given the tragic circumstances surrounding the team. On the first day of the games, the team's head coach's father-in-law was killed and his mother-in-law seriously injured. You can hear more about Ball, about the impact that had on the team, and hear more from family and friends tonight on Nightcast. Reporting live from the airport for now, I'm Janice Allen.
Let me start with some thanks first. I'd like to thank my awesome wife, Sarah, who couldn't be here this afternoon because she has to pick up our son from school here in a little bit. But without her sticking by my side for the last 15 years, through every country this globe has, and through every gymnasium, and every night me coming home from practice with ice on my knees and complaining about this or that, and still remaining my wife and taking such great care of our two beautiful kids. I want to thank her. I want to thank my mother and father, Arnie and Sandy Ball, my mom for sitting on every bleacher in Northeast Indiana, watching me play all kinds of sports, my father for never making me do anything, but always saying yes when I asked him to play catch or anything else, to my sisters and their families, to my aunts and uncles and cousins, and all the close friends here in Fort Wayne and Woodburn, outlying areas. Thank you. You know, this journey that's gone on now for over a decade, and sometimes throughout we weren't sure it was ever going to come to the conclusion we wanted. Thank you for staying by me. Thank you for staying up late nights and watching on ESPN 8 or whatever channel we get to be on once in a while. Thank you for all your prayers and attention and emails and phone calls all those years. It means the world to me to have that kind of continued friendship and closeness with all of you. I want to thank St. Paul's for coming out and the sign. It doesn't seem so long ago when I was at Central Lutheran in New Haven, when we were trying to beat you in all those sports, and usually came up on the short end, I recall. But thanks for coming out here, and you got out of school hopefully, so that's kind of cool. You know, I want to thank obviously all the local government officials, thank all the news networks. You know, I've said it a lot of times, and a lot of times athletes say things maybe they don't mean. And luckily, I like to think I'm not one of those guys. I've never considered anywhere else in the world my home except here. I've never considered being anywhere else during, after, before volleyball. I've never considered raising my family anywhere else except here. You know, people can talk about how the East Coast is great, the West Coast is great, the mountains, New England, whatever. But I can tell you from a guy who's been all over the planet, all over this great country, there's nobody better, no people better than people we have right here in Northeast Indiana. So with that, I just want to say thank you one more time. It's unbelievable. I appreciate you all taking time out of your schedule to come down here for this. It means the world to me more than you probably ever know, more than I can put into words. Thank you, and believe me, you'll be seeing me around because I don't plan on going anywhere. Thanks.